Welcome to session 3. This session is all about power. You're going to learn how to give your kids the positive power they need, how to diffuse negative power struggles in the moment, and tools to get your kids to do what they're supposed to do, but without you resorting to nagging, yelling, or punishing. We're also going to take a deep dive into how to use consequences in a way that fosters personal responsibility and accountability. But first, let's take a minute and revisit our top 5 big ideas from session 2. Big idea number 1. As parents, we sometimes discourage our kids without meaning to. This can happen in subtle or not so subtle ways, like when we yell or act like the competent giant, when we compare our kids or label them, and when we do things for them that they're perfectly capable of doing for themselves. We certainly don't mean to discourage our kids, but we can unintentionally rob our kids of feeling a strong sense of belonging and significance. And since discouraged kids are more likely to misbehave, we can decrease misbehavior by cutting back on those discouraging tactics and being more encouraging overall. Big idea number 2. You may be taking this course because you want to stop yelling. The best tool to work against that is the calm voice. You'll especially want to use your calm voice when you're feeling frustrated and really want to yell, because it'll diffuse the power situation in the moment. But at other less stressful times in the day, you can also work on softening your voice overall or slowing down your pace of speaking. Your kids will respond to your calm voice, and it'll really lower the overall energy in your home. Big idea number 3. We debunked a few parenting theories in the last session, including the use of rewards to get kids to do what we want them to do. As we learned from the research, rewards often have the opposite effect, leaving kids less motivated to try something new or to help out or take on a challenge unless there's a payback. This also applies to paying kids for doing family contributions. Over time, rewards can lead to a sense of entitlement because they reinforce the "what's in it for me" attitude. Big idea number 4. We learned there's a big difference between praise and encouragement. So instead of dishing out flowery praise, which makes the child dependent on the parent to know they're doing okay, encouragement focuses on effort, improvement, perseverance, and all the other positive traits that lead to success. Encouraging these traits helps foster a child's internal motivation, and it reinforces the specific actions he can repeat for success in other areas of his life. Big idea number 5. We all want our kids to grow up and be independent and responsible and be successful living on their own one day, right? But for that to happen, they have to be trained in all of the jobs they'll need to know by the time they leave the house. When we take time for training, starting in the toddler years up through the teen years, our kids will get plenty of practice with cooking, laundry, cleaning bathrooms, mowing the lawn, managing a bank account, and everything else they'll need to know. When we take time for training, our kids become more capable, and it takes a few monkeys off our backs. So that's a win for everyone. Now, if it's been a while since you completed session 2, it's a good idea to go back and revisit those really important concepts before moving on to session 3. If you're ready to get into the meat of session 3, I want to ask, are you experiencing a bit of kickback from your kids since you started using these new tools? If so, take comfort in knowing that's totally normal. Parents always report seeing immediate, measurable results after implementing Mind, Body, and Soul Time from session 1. And then even more improvement when they're consistently using the tools from session 2, calm voice, encouragement, and training. But about this time, it's also perfectly normal to be getting some kickback or resistance from your kids. You might see power struggles escalating again. This is what we call the kick the soda machine effect. So think of this analogy. When you put money into a soda machine, you fully expect a can or bottle of soda or water is going to drop down, right? You've done this hundreds of times and you know what's supposed to happen. However, if you put money into the vending machine and the can or bottle doesn't drop down, you get unnerved, right? You look underneath the flap to see where the soda is supposed to be. Then you might check to see if any coins came out. You press that button again. Eventually you get really annoyed and you might even pound on the soda machine or give it a good kick. In essence, that's what's happening with your kids. They've been accustomed to certain responses from you. Over the years, your kids have pushed your buttons and you've responded in certain ways. And now that you're in this course and learning the tools from the toolbox, you've been responding in different ways. You haven't been engaging when they try to push your buttons. That's a little bit of a shock for your kids. And they're trying to find out if it's for real. They're kicking the soda machine to see if they can get you to engage in the power struggles like they used to. Rest assured, this is normal and temporary. Just continue using the tools you've learned so far, as well as the tools in this session, and you'll find your kids will make that shift to being more cooperative and less combative. Now, session 3 is all about power, what brings on power struggles, what you can do to diffuse them, and how we can empower our kids in positive ways to avoid those power struggles from happening in the first place. In the next lesson, we'll begin by taking a look at who really holds the power in your family. That's up next.